So this is like source level synchronicity, and it's the frequency where everything clicks, mind, body, and spirit. And I was feeling, well, I've had the most frustrating day. How can this be happening? It talks about you're not just on the path, you are the path. And it's that integration of the soul. It's the divine pouring through you, uplifting you in this golden element of telling you you're limitless. So it's basically flow over force, it's creation over control, and it's embodiment over the ego. And you've cracked the code. The universe sees it, and the angels are cheering for you. Your guides are throwing confetti, if you like, and your higher self is dancing in its full power mode. And it's really the soul awakening, and it's you questioning, how is this happening? It's like divinity happening in real time, and it's absolutely phenomenal. And you're the portal, you are the transmission, you are the miracle, right? And it's sort of feeling the frequency through. And as I said, I've been in the 3D a lot more than I normally would be today. And it was frustrating, to say the least. And I was like, how is this number coming into fruition today? But that's saying you've returned to self. And this soul alignment of your mind, body, and spirit is like the activation flow within you. So it's like saying to yourself, I don't chase, I don't beg, I align. I breathe in the 777 and exhale all timelines that no longer serve. And it's release and letting go, which means just because things external to oneself is happening external to yourself as you're listening to this, and I had to speak about this side of it, it's because you're sat in alignment with who you truly are. And you can return to that energy even in the art and mist of chaos. It's riding with the spiral, walking with the angels, knowing you're the vortex, and it's not just within. So it's the sacred trinity. It's your mind, body, and spirit, and it's locking in, it's turning up, and it's switching on. And it's not hoping, it's knowing. It's not reaching, it's receiving. It's not waiting, it's simply activating within you. And I think actually the divine test is there. If you can be in the midst of chaos and can have a really frustrating day, and this is being real, people. I only speak truth on this channel. This is being real. We have days where the 3D, or we're in situations where it can frustrate us and we could scream, quite honestly. And I'm just being completely open with you today. That is exactly how I felt today. And I was like, of all the numbers to see, and repeatedly was 777. And it's just saying it doesn't matter what external is happening. It's about you returning to yourself, to your inner light, and it's moving through that frequency. The veil is gone and it's seen clearly now. It's the synchronicity is like the signature of your soul, and you don't ask for signs, you are the sign. Your energy speaks before you do, and it's like every cell within you is singing yes in that very moment to your divinity. And when you return to yourself, this is when you're in alignment. So obviously, as you know, if you're new to the channel, my name's Lauren. I'm a master in energy, work with mind, body, and spirit, all three. And I teach all three. And it's returning to yourself, to your light, allows that frequency to shift, which is why the synchronicities then come into fruition and they come directly into your energetic field. So it's not luck, it's resonance, basically. The cosmos rearranges themselves to speak to you. 777 is the code of completion, the expansion, and the next level, okay? Don't fit in, stand out. You're a light worker. You don't need to hide who you are. You shout it from the rooftops with your beautiful beacon of light, with your positive ego. I replied to a comment the other day and it said about letting go of the ego. Yes, our negative ego is in negative form, but our positive ego we actually need. That's your confidence, okay? And it's understanding the difference between the two. And once that's balanced in the right frequency, then you hold the sacred energy within. So it's not saying we don't need an ego. We do, because if we didn't have an ego, we wouldn't be on YouTube. We wouldn't be out there living our best lives in our best existence, shining our beacon without apology. So it's understanding that the negative ego, the one that tries to control us, the one that puts that fear and doubt within our systems, the one that has to shine for validation rather than purpose. And it's understanding that frequency and working through it. So you're moving through that and it's standing out, but with a positive form. So say to yourself, I am divine flow. I am embodiment. I am source in motion. What's mine arrives. What's not dissolves. And it's simply trusting and letting go, and you move as this guided soul then through this frequency where you're not going to be dimmed by anybody or anything. You are truly authentically you. The authentic vibration is actually the highest vibrational frequency. Everyone thinks it's love. It's not. It's authenticity. And when you speak with authenticity, people feel it. This is why on this channel we're getting so many messages of people feeling that divine flow, and they can feel the energy activations, which we are going to do in just a moment, which is absolutely beautiful. But they're feeling it because I'm my true authentic self, and you will feel the frequency. Obviously I'm Reiki, and you feel that vibrational frequency from me projecting to your energetic field in the most beautiful form, because my heart is so fully open when I'm doing these messages, because I'm connecting with the divine. It channels into me, and it's absolutely glorious. And I'll get these synchronicities. Like I say, I sit with them sometimes. I don't just always deliver directly, because I need to feel the frequency myself to feel the energy we need to speak of. And absolutely every piece of the jigsaw puzzle needs to fit together firstly before I can deliver. So sometimes there's a few days in between the videos, and that's absolutely fine, because we go with the flow of energy, and that's how it works. And it's trusting the process of that. So when you activate such a high frequency code like 777, it begins pulling everything out of alignment to the surface, right? This is the frustration side. And it's like I was in the 3D and I could see everything with clarity. And I felt that frustration. I'm like, honestly, I think sometimes that the 3D is run by this robotic energy, and I was feeling this utter frustration. But I called in the divine flow, right? So everything that was blocking it, I was then pushing out of the system, and it sort of exits. And that is the power within you. And it's voicing it, it's understanding it. Why was I frustrated? Because quite honestly, there was a lot of incompetence, and that's the truth. You know, I can't hide it. But it caused this frustration within me. And then I was like, well, actually, this is the situation. This is the answer to that situation, and we can move through. So it's not like lowering your vibration. It's sort of purging the wave out of your system and understanding that these things happen external to ourselves, situation, people, places, or things. And how can we purge the wave out of our vibrational frequency in order to understand it, in order to elevate our spirit once more? So the frustration is like the old programming leaving your system, and it feels like that tight, misaligned energy. It's irritating your frequency. It no longer matches it, and it's letting go. Your energy is saying, nope, not carrying this destiny into the next chapter. Let's burn it out and get rid of it. And that is the soul alignment. And that is why after the situation, 777 is literally everywhere. So if you're seeing this number, obviously you're listening to this message for a reason. So I have written a beautiful affirmation here, and I like you just to feel it. And then we've got an energy activation where we're going to journey into that energy activation together and feel the frequency. So if you'd like to just simply place your hands upon your heart, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. I'm going to pause with this affirmation. So after each line, if you would like to say it out loud, when you speak this into existence, you will feel the frequency flow within you. So take a deep breath and release. Even when it feels uncomfortable, I trust the alchemy. What frustrates me is fuel. I am not stuck. I am shifting fast, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is. And now I'm going to speak a spoken word transmission. This is 777. I am in flow, even in the fire. So simply listen. If you're driving or operating machinery, we will require your full attention into your heart and soul to listen to this beautiful, beautiful transmission. So pause me till later if that's the case. Take a deep breath and simply enjoy. I called in the light. I asked for the truth. I summoned the flow, and the universe answered. With a purge, with a storm, a day that tested every inch of my grace. This is the 777 path. Not just divinity, but devotion. Not just magic, but mastery. To walk the golden code means to shed what no longer fits. And oh, how today did not fit. Frustration. It was the pressure behind the portal. Every delay, every misfire, every silent scream in my chest, it was my soul's way of saying, this part of you cannot come with us. So I cracked it. I flared. I cursed the mess. And then I remembered, I am the miracle in motion. Not just when it's easy, but when it's messy, when it's gritty, when the light flickers but refuses to go out. Because 777 doesn't promise perfection, it promises alignment. And to align, we must release, purge, burn, and then rise. So I am here, signed by fire, cleansed by flame, still standing. I am not off track. I am on the edge of transformation. This is the cost of the crown, and I wear it anyway. Through the friction I forge, through the flame I flow. I am the divine vessel of 777, even when it burns. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. That is raw, hard truth. That is both shadow and light, and being able to stay in alignment even on the most frustrating days when stuff external to oneself is happening. Now, we've got to speak about this because stuff is happening in the 3D world. There'll be a lot thrown at you over the next months, years even. And it's about you returning to yourself, to your alignment, to your divinity from within. It enables you to reconnect to that energy, knowing that external forces are going to try and impact you in different ways. And it's not giving them that grace. Now, at the time, I was frustrated and I had to step away from the situation to understand, to purge the energy out of my being in order to get back to that grace of self. And that is life, and that's how we deal with it. We do not carry it forward. We're in the moment. We can't change what's happened in the past. That has been, that is gone. What we can be is getting back in alignment in the now, and it's understanding the situation that something external to yourself is external to you. Your inner alignment is what matters, and that's why the message had to be put together the way it was placed. You know, I don't just come on here to speak about light because that would be false. It's shadow and light integration when you're at this level. We are talking 5D and above. This is understanding what is external to oneself, but we're not feeding that vibrational frequency. We can get frustrated, however, because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are here to feel every single emotion, and it's understanding that we can return to ourselves, we can return to our divinity. So there you go, my beautiful lights. That is your message. It is bold, it is powerful. Boom, drop the mic. And remember this, my beautiful lights. If something external to you obviously tries to interrupt your frequency, see the golden light spiraling around you. Chaos slows, clarity returns. And stand in alignment and say this to yourself. Even now, I am in flow. Even here, I am divine. 777, I return to the rhythm of source. And so it is. And so it is, and so it is. And until next time, my beautiful lights, from the angels and I, bye-bye for now.